Welcome back, folks. Dave from Sign and Slabbed. This may be last one of these that I do live for today. We'll see, as I am prepping for Dallas Card Show this weekend, but starting the process of trying to trim my PC down into something manageable. So, we've done Olajuwon, we've done Barkley, now we'll do the last of the big Houston Big Three trio. My main man, Clyde Drexler. So here we go. So we'll see. I've got Hakeem, Barkley already in the case. So here we go with Clyde. This will be short. I don't have a ton of cards on him. So, of course, your 83. I know this says 84. But it's actually 1983 star basketball, Clyde Drexler, his first card. This was the only one of these guys that I was able to get in a 9.5. And you can see this one is a true gem. And, man, I love this card. I've had a couple of these over the years. But as I talked about in the other videos, the reality is I just like the autograph cards way more for my basketball, my NBA collection. My Hakeem and Barkley stars are also PSA 6s with 10 autos. So here they are. Like that's my main three right there. So to have that, I am a little OCD at times, so that uniformity matters for me. So for purposes of the PC, autograph stays, regular card goes. So of course, next up, your 86 Fleer. I don't know if I have an autographed one slabbed yet, but I do have raw cards of this that I'm gonna get slabbed soon. So again, following along the theme, I just don't really care about, it's not as important to me to have just the cards in PSA 10. Yes, they're cool, but it doesn't really mean that much to me as a collector for what I want to keep. So I will track down my autographed 86 Fleer of Clyde and put it in the case, or I'll take one of them that I have to sub, and then the PSA 10 doesn't make it. And as I talked about with the other guys, I was going to work through the Fleer 10s of these dudes, but you can tell, like, I skipped from all the way from 86 to 92 on Clyde. I was obviously just not that committed to that pursuit on these players. I still think, like, if you have a singular PC or a dual PC player sort of collection, I do think the PSA 10 run on these Fleer cards would be really cool. But again, like, the 87s are going to set you back a lot because they're really low pop. They're very expensive. And I just realized with multiple players that I collect, there's just no way that I was going to be committed enough to ever finish that off, much less find a good way to actually display that many cards. And so anyway, the Fleer PSA 10s don't make it. This is a card that will make it. Your 96 EX 2000 credentials. I'd like to find a PSA 9 of this to match my Barkley and Hakeem, but I don't really care about the grades that much. But I just think these are, like, these three guys all in their Rockets uniforms. It just makes for, like, a really, really good trio from that mid-90s Houston Rockets teams. These are guys that I really remember watching when I first moved down here, and the team was pretty good. And it was coming off the championships when I got here, and they had added Barkley to try to keep that run going. So anyway, all three of those end up staying. Then we've got I just thought this was actually an interesting set. I do like these cards a lot. They come in the blue, which this is, but then there's also a black version of it. They're neat looking cards. They're not super expensive though. Again, when I was sort of in the mindset of how do I put together a PC of some of these guys where every card's not like costing me several $100s. I tried to find some. They were a little bit artsy too. I thought like that design was kind of cool that year. But anyway, lower ended cards, so not gonna make the cut. And then last, I forgot to move these over here pre-video, but your 97 Upper Deck game jersey, Clyde Drexler. So we had Hakeem. We have the Hakeem that was staying in the PC, so I'm also going to keep one of the Drexlers. Again, they're both auto 10s. The card's pretty similar condition. These cards, again, I've talked about, were kind of hard to grade despite the rounded corners. But, at the end of the day, it's always autograph versus patch. What do you do? This is a, napkin white patch. This one at least had the two colors. I know on one of my Akeems, I actually went for the autograph because it had the inscription. Both these are similar. So in this instance, because they're otherwise pretty much the same, I think I will keep the dual colored patch and the other one will be made available. So that's what we got. That's what we're cutting Clyde down to. I will add the 86 autograph to go with it, but my Clyde collection looks like it's probably going to just be 4 cards for now. I probably will look at some of the other insert sets, but Clyde's not in a bunch of that stuff. I do think he has a jambalaya. I'm not a huge fan of those cards historically, but that might be a cool one just to add for him. And then as I think through these things, I ended up with 6 Akeems. I've got 7 Barclays. I'm going to have 4 Clydes for sure, but I'm starting to kind of feel like the 6-pack will be the max of any individual player of what makes the cut. Except, of course, maybe Mookie Betts. There's no way I'm going to be able to pick just 6 Mookies, but I have some ideas on how to deal with that, and I'll talk about that when I get further along in this and start doing my baseball collection, which is a lot more expensive. I started with basketball because I don't have that many guys that I PC, and it's not a ton of cards of each guy. So anyway, hopefully you're enjoying these, and like I said, I need to try to figure out how to put these up to YouTube as well, which is part of getting these first 3 out now, to see if I can figure out how to do that. So until next time, Dave at Sign and Slab, signing out.